And we're back with another episode of our Coffee on the Dark Side podcast. This week, a very, very special episode because it's May the 4th.
May the 4th!
Star Wars Day. It's always good to have Star Wars Day.
Pew, 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 pew.
Well, we don't have anything exactly special to talk about today, but
we'll make it.
we will push around some things.
It's Star Wars.
We can push around some things. And first of all, apparently there's a rumor on Twitter of the Polish title of The Rise of Skywalker, which basically is Gwednie Woźni Skywalker Odrodzenie. Apparently people say this doesn't mean exactly the rise of Skywalker, it's more like the resurrection of Skywalker, which may be a major spoiler if this becomes true.
Well, remember what happened with the 8th episode title in Brazilian. They said the title was The Last Jedi, but everyone thought it was just one Jedi, because everyone forgot that the plural of Jedi is Jedi, and in the Brazilian translation it said últimos, which means lasts.
It's plural.
It's plural.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, oh, so that's more than one.
But in Portugal, we translate it as último, which is singular.
We did.
We did, yeah, we did. I think we did. I think we did, yeah.
Huh.
But when
I never paid attention of the titles.
But
in
when
Portuguese.
when the translations came out, I think it was Ryan Johnson who confirmed that the title was singular. I think it was the director who said the title is singular.
So everyone fucks up with the titles.
Yeah, but since I don't speak Polish,
Clearly,
I'm kind of...
we have to first apologize to any Polish listeners that we offended trying to
Odrodzenie.
read the title.
Pretty sure this word is right. Odrodzenie. I think this is right.
You sound Russian, but
Odrodzenie.
Russian vodka.
You know Russian is really different from Polish, right?
I know,
Right, okay.
but I mean the sound you're making with your voice.
That's on purpose.
Yeah, I know.
That's on purpose.
I know. So, beside that, the other news we have is for Star Wars Battlefront. Right now, during this weekend, because it's May the 4th, all you listeners have an event playing through at Star Wars Battlefront, which is if you contribute to catch pinpoints at Capital Supremacy mode, you help the community to win a very special skin for Leia, for the Princess Organa skin from the first episode, like the white dress, the white long dress, and the hair bumps, free of charge. You don't need credits or that. You just need at least to play once Capital Supremacy and wait for the real hardcore players to do the rest. All the players around the world have to contribute for 4 millions?
4 million.
6 zeros. Yeah.
4 million command posts.
Command posts. Basically, you just have to log into a game, run for the first. We suggest to use, if you're at the start of the game, to use Assault, activate the Vanguard, and just run for it and catch one of the posts or help catching one of the posts. And then survive the rest of the game. Either if you won or lose, it contributes anyway to the event. And even if you don't like the mode, just play one time if you want the skin.
You don't need to survive the whole game. You can just...
Survive, I mean do the entire session. That's what I mean to survive. You can die.
I don't think you. I think you can leave in middle of the session. I think. I think you can just quit.
After the first
I mean, imagine you start playing Capital Supremacy.
for 2 hours.
Yeah, the same game is going
Yeah.
for 2 hours. You get bored. You if you quit, your participation will still be noted. I think.
Yeah, but imagine like thousands of players going to play the game, capture the first post, and then okay, bye bye, have fun losing.
There's still people. There's always people coming in to do these challenges.
Eh,
I wouldn't say that's a problem.
eh. I just think it's a little bit of bad sportsmanship. I understand if you have a date like in an hour and a half, you thought, okay, I'm going to play for 30 minutes, and you realize you're 2 hours in the game and your date is waiting for you and you have to leave the game. I understand that. Now, leaving after capturing the first command post, you know,
That game mode can become really repetitive.
Oh, yeah.
I find myself playing one game which lasts for 2 hours and I'm bored.
2 hours,
I'm
3
tired.
hours,
I'm tired of capturing command
a
posts.
decade.
So
But besides that, do we have any news?
I'm scrolling around the internet, but apparently there's nothing new.
It was a slow week.
It's just there's an article here on how Marvel took Star Wars' place in pop culture. Then there are old news like the new trailer, the new title.
We're obviously not recording this on May the 4th because we have to record this, prepare the audio, put it online, put on YouTube, put every channel we have our podcast in.
Some images from Star
Oh,
Wars
yeah.
Park in Disney,
Aerial images.
which is really cool.
But we're not
shit.
obviously recording this on Saturday, May the 4th. But probably, because it's May the 4th, on Saturday, I think there will be some news. Because it's May the 4th.
I don't think we will have it.
What? At least a mini news, Because it's Star Wars Day.
I wouldn't count on it. To
And
be fair.
Disney and all that is around the Star Wars for the fans, so give a little bit something. Like, it's a drug dealer offering the first meth, then you buy the rest of the meth. It's like a ice cream chain, and you give the first spoon, and then you buy the rest of the spoons. Star Wars Day, mate. Make the money.
You lost me on your comparison with meth. I'm lost there.
Don't do death sticks.
Meth sticks.
Meth sticks.
But yeah, there's really not much going around. Just how Avengers broke Star Wars record on the box office.
Well, I'm not surprised about that. Like
Um,
22 movies waiting
The
for
new
this
VR,
one.
the new VR game. The new VR Star Wars game with Vader, which is available on Facebook to preview. Sorry. The official date of Jedi Fallen Order, which is 15th of November. We've discussed this.
Mm-hmm.
We get confirmation that The Mandalorian will be available on day one of the Disney Plus service.
Yes.
So will be the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Also, The Simpsons will be there. 30 years of Simpsons on Disney Plus.
Because Disney bought Fox.
Everything from Marvel will be there too.
Yeah.
So this is nice.
What we have from Marvel?
Probably the Luke Cage series, the Punisher series.
Shield, Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Runaways is from Marvel, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger too. But that's from Freeform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
Companies are weird
was
to
a-
make money.
it was a really slow week this week. I don't think we will get anything new on May the 4th.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think we will. But But yeah, it's May the 4th. Everyone will be celebrating. Everyone will have
What are your
ideas.
plans for May the 4th?
Unfortunately, I will be working
Me too.
all day. So,
Me too.
yeah.
Well, I think after I finish work, I'll probably go visit my best friend. She's getting better, and I'll bring something of Star Wars with me when I go see her. Um, Beside that, well, people probably will be like celebrating, watching the movies, playing a game. You know, the typical Star Wars celebration. Some people go, if they have time, they go through every movie. Sometimes some are purists and only go through the the original trilogy. Um, some gather, some go to play games, so some go to play board games. You have a lot of board games for Star Wars. You have at least currently in the making, still producing. I mean, free board games of tactical strategies for Star Wars. Uh, let's see if I can remember the names. Well, you have X-wing, Armada, and I think the other one is called Imperial Assault.
I don't know.
It's more my area than yours.
I'll just be working, and I'll probably be up around 5:30.
Eesh,
I'll go to work. I'll leave at 4 or 5, and
that's it.
I'm not sure if I will even get time to play some Battlefront.
You will.
So, yeah.
You will.
Unfortunately, my Star Wars day this year is working. Which is a shame because
Well, you can always do the smallest contribution, which is to you wear a Star Wars T-shirt for the work, or put the Darth Vader's helmet for work.
Yeah.
It's Saturday. I mean,
It's,
not many people will be at the office to annoy you, to mess up with you.
Yeah, the
if
bosses
you're-
aren't
yeah,
bosses aren't there. Yeah.
exactly. So you can go with a Darth Vader's helmet.
Yeah.
Or do like that lady from the internet, which wear the Chewbacca mask.
That woman is obnoxious. Oh, God.
But she got. I think it's so stupid how today's you do one an auctions thing, everyone laughs at the first time, then shows the other people to laugh the first time, and you go around and around and around and around doing that, and then the people go to famous shows.
It's still obnoxious.
It's obnoxious. I mean, it's kind of stupid how society has evolved. That's what I mean. So, Star Wars Celebration Day, May the 4th. I brought some things with me.
A book, I
A
see.
book and my tablet for all the online books. What is this book? This book was released for the 14th. No, how do you say? 40th? 40th?
I don't know. 40.
40.
40 stories.
No, 40th year. 40th.
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 40th year.
40th year of Star Wars Celebration. It's a book with 40 stories written by 40 people. Each story is a mini story telling some aspect that they want to tell about the Star Wars, mainly about the Star Wars original trilogy. For example, some people here are famous. I bet some of them are more famous for others than to me. I at least recognize one name from all the writers that appear on the cover of the book, which is Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. For those who don't know who Will Wheaton is, It's the boy from Star Trek, The Next Generation, which also appears in The Big Bang Theory in some episodes.
Which is another obnoxious show.
I like it at the beginning, then I got bored with it, but that's another point. There are other writers here, and this name is familiar to me, Ben Hacker.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
Yeah, Jeffrey Brown, Christy Golden, Claudia Gray.
Claudia Gray is really famous.
Doesn't she also wrote the Star Wars things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's one of the writers for the new canon novels.
Exactly.
I think she wrote the Phasma novel.
Exactly. And maybe Leia's book too. Not sure. No? No.
I don't know.
Beth Revis, etc., etc., etc. So basically, it's 40 stories of 40 writers. None, at least from what I've read so far, really connected to the Skywalker family. Which brings me to a point. What is Star Wars? What is Star Wars for you, mate?
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars is more than just movies.
It's more
Star
than
Wars.
just Skywalker family.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Skywalker thing now is like the smallest part of Star Wars for me.
Yes. And this is what I wanted to get. Many people think that Star Wars is about the family and wizardly spells and use the invention of the Force around the universe. But no,
Is he though?
no, it ain't. Yes, there are people that can use the Force. Yes, the Force is around us all. Yes, that is true. But Star Wars is way more than that. Way more. For example, one of the stories, right at the beginning of the book, it's the final moments of the commander of Tantive 4, which was the ship where Leia was escaping at the beginning of Star Wars. And it's the story about his final moments. He's thinking about his family. He doesn't know he's going to die. Then you have a story about the Jawa. Star Wars can be so much, and lately with the new shows, you've been seeing that more and more arriving to the mass media, the mass population, because most of them were thinking, no, this just has to be about someone with a lightsaber and use the Force and kills and all. It's a happy day or sad day, depending if he's on the dark side or the good side. Light side, not good side, because good is relative. You can have a story about a small Jawa that wants to go across the universe. You can have a small story about a hut that wants to sell t-shirts.
You can have a love story between a clone trooper and a droid.
You can have a love story about a clone trooper and a droid, or a droid and another droid, or a clone trooper and another clone trooper. You can have the stories of the clone troopers. So many we have seen, so many that fallen during the Clone Wars show, and that were memorable. One of them, for example, was my favorite, Fives. You remember Fives? Because I remember Fives. It was one of the characters that most like Fives. Why are you called Five? Because my code is 5555.
Yeah.
Those moments, those little things that one creates around the universe, and not just, it doesn't have to be connected to the Force. It can be connected to the Force, but it doesn't have to be connected to the Skywalker family. There's one story I've read in Tumblr, like many years ago, which I never forget. Which was a story about our Star Wars RPG session, where there was a character. It was from another planet, humanoid but not human, and he didn't believe the Force, but he could use some of the Force. And he explained everything that happened to him due to other circumstances because he was how do you say this? Um, he didn't believe. He didn't believe on the Force, so everything when they told him about the Force was hocus pocus. And the story was there was another crewmate that all say you can use the Force, you believe in the Force, you have to use the Force, and he jumped real high. He said, "See, that was the Force." And said, "No, I grew up in a planet with heavy gravity, so I can jump further." He could sense things, and I said, "No, it's just my intuition," and so on. And when the other crewmate went to his quarters, he found a lightsaber, and I said, "See, you know the Force. You believe in the Force." And I said, "No, that's bullshit. That's just my don't stick." And I was like, "Yo, what? My don't stick. Don't stick. What do you mean by that?" "You'll see." And then episodes later, they go to a bar, and some big fella was gonna ruffle them up, and then just moved the cloak, showed the lightsaber, and said, "Don't." That's funny. That for me, when I read it, was funny, and it was real imagination that you have a little bit of the Force, but you don't have necessarily to be a Jedi. You have the tools of a Jedi, but you don't need to use them at the same way. Which means to me, which reflects to me actually, Star Wars. Star Wars can be used in different ways for different people. For example, you have Resistance. Resistance is a show that there is no Force in it, which is brilliant. Rebels, only a part of Rebels has the Force. The other part is the movement against the Empire. Clone Wars. Most of the episodes of the Clone Wars are reflected in the battles of the clones.
Oh, but that's obvious because the show is called The Clone Wars.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Not the Jedi Wars.
You know what I mean. You have, like I've mentioned before, you have free modules for Star Wars RPG where you can either play as a rebel, as a smuggler, or a Force user. So you recognize that there are more people that want to play as a non-Force user. They want the little stories that are not big. Even the movies of anthology, there are practically no Force on it. The only moment of a Force user that you see is in Rogue One when Vader is being Vader, and you laugh at it.
And it's the best Vader.
And it's the best Vader you have seen ever. Just that small part of
not ever from movie.
Yes, true. Although I like the Vader in the episode 1. The original. The first time he appeared.
The original.
Yeah.
It's not really the same. I mean, it's not that.
They were still developing the character.
The very destructive Vader we always wanted to see.
They were still developing the character at that point. And also have another acquisition with me, but it's on my tablet because it's a digital acquisition. Like he was saying, the Vader in movies. You have currently a series of comics called Star Wars Vader Dark Visions. Which are these? These are small stories connected to Darth Vader and directly or non-directly. The first comic, spoiler alert, it's about a little planet where time to time the population of the planet could go above ground to get resources because there was some type of god which was a very big ass.
Bless you.
Bless me. Ah, shit. There was a very big ass monster that that wreckaged the thank you the wreckaged the planet, and time to time he would go to sleep so they could go above ground to gain resources and then go again to below ground. And in space there was a battle going on between the rebels and the Empire. Vader's ship crashed into the planet during what they call the slumber, which was when the supposedly god was sleeping, waking up the god, and then you see a fight between Vader and that big ass monster. And the other one of the people from that planet stayed back. He didn't went up to blow ground like the rest. He stood there to see the story, and I think it's marvelous to see the story of a Force user, either be a Jedi or a Sith, in the eyes of someone who doesn't know what it is, because the only thing he saw was a Dark Knight with a flaming sword.
So we saw Batman.
With a flaming sword. It's like the cross. It saw something that crossed between the kid from How to Train Your Dragon, because he invented the flame sword, and Batman fighting a big ass monster.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice. That's wonderful. It's one of the stories I like to read, because you either can be with the Sith, you can either see it as a good intervention or a bad intervention. Either way, it's just wonderful to see all the reactions you get to a Force user when you're not expected to. If you want to contribute anything.
No, I'm listening. I mean, this is your area of expertise.
Expertise. And another thing I really like about Star Wars stories, and I've mentioned this in another episode, is the droid, the little companion droid. It's like a Pokemon that you can create. They always stood by you. They can do many things, open doors, project the messages you want. But I always like that small companion, which actually looks like a Pokemon, because they speak and you don't understand one thing they're saying, but the user understands what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I just realized that droids from Star Wars that cannot speak are basically Pokemons, and the droids that can speak are basically Meowths.
Okay.
And there are so many opportunities in Star Wars, and most of the people that look at it either say either you go Force user or you don't. Either you use the Force or you don't. If you don't, that sucks.
We have kind of already discussed this on
Another
a
episode.
couple of episodes ago. I mean, fan fiction opened the ways and the doors for these kinds of stories to appear. If it wasn't for the fan fictions that George Lucas accepted, that became the expanded universe, which is now the Legends continuity. Let me close the window. If George Lucas never accepted this fact, and the fan fiction became the expanded universe and kind of part of the canon, these RPGs, these comics, these novels, most of them wouldn't be around, because I don't see Disney and Marvel doing comics now just to Or better yet, I don't see Marvel doing the comics if the fan fiction became the expanded universe. See what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, sorry, I was listening to you, but I was realizing that the comics I was saying, the Dark Visions, every there are three parts that are going to be sold out, released, whatever you want to say, and every book is at least up to now. I think every book is from the same story writer, but every book has arts from different artists. The story is always from Dennis Hopeless Hallam, but the art it changes. And now in the first story, I think it's just about some woman in the that works for the Empire and has a crush on Darth Vader.
Oh.
I think she's a technician, and she falls in love with Darth Vader, and then all the
So she has a thing for droids, for half droids.
I don't think knows how she is a half droid, because there's a part when she has a romantic vision with Darth Vader. All the princess going for the following the body of the hero, and then removing the mask and then kiss. She probably doesn't know what's behind the mask.
Yeah, probably.
And then Vader killing the other guy just because.
Just because.
Oh. Lovely. She gets even more aroused because of the force using to crush who they say it's the enemy, and it's just basically this one is like a fan fiction about someone who loves Vader. This is hysterical, a lot hysterical. I have to read this with more time. But you were saying the fan fictions that were authorized by George Lucas open a great continuum to what we have today.
Yeah, it paved the way. They opened the doors for the novels that we get today, for the comics that we get today. Um, Probably opened the door for Disney to approach Lucasfilms and buy it out. Because in the last few years, like, I mean, the purchase was what, 2013, 12, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So for 10 years, that whatever was sustaining Star Wars was the expanded universe. Because Revenge of the Sith came out 10 years ago at that time, from 2003. The prequels were in still inside that bubble where a lot of people didn't accept them. So what?
And what we had as the sequels were the comics.
Exactly. So what was sustaining Star Wars at the time were the things that were coming out in the expanded universe.
Yes.
So
The major income at one point from Star Wars were either video games or another books, comics, etc. Unfortunately, Disney could buy the Lucasfilm franchise due to a hurricane that destroyed a part of the studios of Lucasfilms.
yeah, that helped.
That helped, and that it was sad. Many things were destroyed and lost, but and today we have some. It's the universe. The planet Earth is never happy, never. For at one time we had people complaining there weren't enough materials, or I don't read the comic books, so they're not canon, which they were.
Yeah.
They were. Don't give me that bullshit. Oh, we need more movies, we need more shows, etc., etc., etc. Then Disney bought Lucasfilm and released more movies and more more shows, more movies, etc. And some people started complaining, saying, "Oh, we already had enough. This is too many." And people saying that, for example, Darth Maul is alive. Oh, he ain't alive. He died in the movie, and then he show up in Han Solo. So, screw you. Holy moly!
Yeah, I'm sorry for the silence. We just got some amazing news here. Not Star Wars related,
But movie related.
it's a 200-minute of director's cut of Django Unchained.
Django.
So I would love
Django.
I would love to see a Quentin Tarantino's director's cut.
More blood, more viscera, more everything.
Also, a Quentin Tarantino Star Wars movie. But I digress. Please continue.
Yeah. People are always complaining about something. That's the reality we have around us.
The internet helped.
The internet
'Cause
helped a lot.
It gave voice to a lot of people who, well, it gave voice for guys, for dumbasses like us.
Yeah,
But
which is also bad for someone who
But
doesn't want to.
it also gave voices to some.
At least
worse
we're showing our
dumbasses.
voices and probably faces in the near future, because most of the people that complain about something just hide behind a word or a fake image or whatever.
Yeah.
Just a small point besides Star Wars. Have you seen Sonic?
The trailer.
Yeah.
I did. I hated it.
What the heck is that?
I just enjoyed the Jim Carrey part.
Seriously, what the heck is that?
It's a blue thing.
He doesn't even have gloves. He has white hands.
And why does he have Puma sneakers? And why is he a teenager? And why is he dancing to Gangster's Paradise?
Well, I can respond some of those questions. First, he has Puma sneakers because probably Puma offered a sponsorship for the movie. That's pretty obvious. Oh, you don't say!
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you're so brilliant. Second of all, he was already a teen during. You remember the animated show where he was a teen with his brothers and they played instruments? I like that show. It was cool. They were looking for the mother. The sister played piano. The brother played drummers. He played guitar.
I still did not like the trailer.
No, I didn't like the trailer at all.
I just enjoyed Jim Carrey.
For my defense, I haven't seen the trailer yet.
You have to see for Jim Carrey.
Of course, I'll see it for Jim Carrey.
Because it's Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is wonderful. He's brilliant.
I miss Jim Carrey.
I miss him too. Last time I heard news from him, he was like a new person.
He is. You can still see that. You can see the trailer and he is a different person.
Yeah,
But it's still Jim Carrey.
yeah. He's more reflect now. He's more like Buddha style. Not really Buddha, but he's more a philosopher now.
Good. He's better. I like to see that he's better.
I have to see the trailer. Like I only saw the picture that someone sent me with Sonic, and I was like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's weird.
I'm saying it's bad.
I wouldn't say it's bad. I mean, it's weird. Bad was CGI in Justice League. That was bad.
Well, we still have to see the CGI in the movie, so We'll
But
afterwards.
judging by
The trailer?
by the trailer, at least the CGI on Sonic, it's not Detective Pikachu level, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, the next week we'll have Detective Pikachu. We're gonna see,
Of course.
of course. What else? What else do we have? Probably talking about news for May the 4th. We probably some websites that sell Star Wars games will have discounting these days. So if you want to buy some of the old games, my suggestion on Steam or Good Old Games. Especially Good Old Games if you want the old games and not have all that process running through all those programs running through the computer to play in Steam. Steam is really good to have a platform for games, but when you try to play the game and your computer is already a little bit old and you try to have several things to open to run the game, it sucks.
Yeah, but that's a problem of old computers.
Yeah,
They tend to
suck.
suck.
Yeah,
All my computers are old.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
yeah,
Apart from this one, but this one is for work.
yeah. Supposedly.
No, this one, not the one we are recording.
Yeah, I know,
this
no,
in,
no. But
the other.
what are you? Why are you doing what you're doing on Steam right now?
I'm buying a game on Steam
To play where?
to play on this
At your works computer.
because it's Football Manager. It runs.
It's working investigation.
Well, it was. It was. I have Twitter open, and I'm refreshing Twitter. So yeah, suck on that,
Yeah.
flyboy.
And yeah, we
You were saying
So-
about Pikachu.
yeah, Pikachu. We have to see that, and another movie that Hellboy has to see that.
I've heard only bad things about it.
Yeah, but I've heard bad things about everything nowadays. So people have talked bad about Star Wars movies, but we still go to see Star Wars
I'm not
movies.
saying don't go see Hellboy. I'm saying
Don't get
I've,
your hopes high.
I've heard bad things about
Yeah.
Hellboy.
I'm curious about Hellboy. I'm just right now reading some of the stories of Hellboy, especially the short stories, and I like the heart, and that's the new droid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dio.
Dio. It's like a droid in a wheel and all that, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens on Saturday. Probably, like I said, some discounts in the games. A few years back, during my anniversary, there was a promotion for Star Wars games. A friend of mine bought most of the old games for $12.
I mean, on Steam, you will probably have some discounts.
Yeah,
On Steam.
on GOG too.
On GOG, definitely will be some discounts.
Humble bundle.
But on Xbox and on PlayStation,
Nah,
I really doubt it because
I'm talking about the old games.
I know. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
Because recently, Xbox Live gave the old Battlefronts for free. Like a month ago. And on PlayStation, the old games are not available. I think they are available on PlayStation Now, but you have to subscribe to PlayStation Now, which means spending 15 euros a month extra.
They're available.
They're available on the PlayStation Now, I think, which is the streaming service.
Oh, that.
The gaming streaming service
Yeah,
from
yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, that thing.
Because if you go to the PlayStation Store,
You can find them.
the old games are not there. and then the most recent ones are already they're cheap. I mean, Battlefront 2 is like 15 euros, I think. The old one is like for 8 or 9, and nobody plays the first Battlefront for PlayStation 4 because
I would play if they had story mode, but they don't.
they didn't. So
Yeah.
it was a strictly multiplayer pay to win game.
Yeah.
I mean, people who played it still,
Still
play,
play
it. I know a lot of people who play Battlefront 2, but each week on I think it's on Mondays. It's on Mondays they get around the old cruise and get on the old game
Mm.
and still play it, and that's what's keeping that game
Alive.
alive. But I don't think people who don't have the game or who are done with the game are going to get it just because it's on discount.
Yeah.
And
I
since
think-
and since Fallen Order is still like 6 months away,
Yeah.
I don't even want to start about on Fallen Order because since it's still on pre-sale or pre-reserve, they
But
won't
then,
have any
yeah.
discounts. So
Maybe a discount if they put the Force Unleashed.
but that's the thing. The Force Unleashed on store, it's still only available on Xbox.
Only
Yeah, on PlayStation, I think it's only available on the PlayStation now.
or free.
Well-
PlayStation free.
Oh yeah, on PlayStation 3, yeah. But
And,
on PlayStation 4, it's only on the Now system, on the Now service,
That's weird.
which costs I think it's $14.99
Per month.
per month.
Jesus.
So if you have the Plus service, the PlayStation Plus service, which costs like 60 a year, it's a lot of money. I mean, who if you can
Like I've said, if you get sick or break a bone and you can't leave the house for a month, buy that.
if you can afford it, please do.
Yeah.
If you really love gaming and you can afford it, yeah, okay, do it. But for this
It ain't
for
for
the
everybody.
for the average Joe, I don't think it's actually a good idea, unless you're really into gaming and the only thing you do is play. You
Yeah.
you go to work and then you come home and just spend the rest of the day just gaming.
Or you don't
Okay.
go to work and just spend the day supposedly sick and gaming. There are people
But
that do that.
in that way, you don't have the money to pay it. So
You have if your uncle or your grandma or your father or your whatever is your boss. And you don't get fired.
but then you'll get 15-year-olds saying, I fucked your mom because you're playing too much Fortnite.
I'm not saying you go to play Fortnite. I'm saying you go to play proper games.
It's still the same. You can't say Fortnite is not a proper game if you haven't played it. I haven't played it, but
No, I think that every game that allows to 15-year-old kids to say "go fuck your mama," or "fuck your mama" or whatever is not a proper game. Why do you think I stopped playing League of Legends and all that? Because I was tired of fucking 15-year-old kids being the dumbasses and doing shit. I know it.
why did you fuck 15-year-old kids? That's sick.
What?
That's sick.
What?
That's what you said.
What?
You said I was tired of fucking 15-year-old kids. That's what you've said. I think that's sick, and it shouldn't exist.
Stop twisting my words.
I'm not twisting your words.
Yeah,
That's
yes, you
what
are.
said.
You understood exactly what I was
That's
saying.
That's what you said.
Fuck you.
But yeah, I don't think we will get a lot of discounts on games unless you're on Steam or on
Go Rumble Bundle.
yeah, unless you're on the PC platforms or
Yeah.
the mobile platforms. I don't think you will get a lot of discounts on games.
Well, mobile games probably will also have events. You had that mobile game that was Star
no,
Wars Galaxy
the
of
events,
something.
the Galaxy's Edge, I
Yeah.
think. No,
Yeah.
Galaxy of Heroes.
Hey, that's it. I played for a bit, but I got tired.
You will get events, yes, events, not
Yeah.
discounts.
Remind me, did we had we on for April's Fool we only got that pajamas skin for Count Dooku, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, Kind of disappointment because when it's Easter, I always want games to do something big. For example, War Thunder this year changed the skins of airplanes, every airplane for UFOs. Some years ago, it changes all the skins of the airplanes for My Little Ponies with wings.
That's nice.
Imagine in the entire crew playing the game
That's nice.
with My Little Ponies with wings and machine guns beneath the wings.
That's nice. Very nice.
It was funny. They always did crazy things. They have more times to substitute the skins and whatever. I know it's not easy on other services like PlayStation, Xbox, and whatever to do that because it creates a lot of problems for the main files. But it would be nice, you know.
Well, you already have the Leia skin.
No, but
The Princess Leia skin.
But that's for May the 4th.
Yeah.
I'm saying comics, a funny skin for April's Fools or whatever, or a game mode that's just insane for April's Fools. That's what I was mentioning.
No, but you're asking for a lot.
Yeah, I know. I tend to do that. So we're about close to the end of the episode.
I don't have anything else to say.
I advise people for today. They will not. We usually release the episode on Fridays, but since it's May the 4th, we will be releasing this one on May the 4th,
Which is on Saturday.
which is on Saturday. If you haven't checked today, Saturday, the day you're supposedly listening to, if you're a loyal fan of us, you'll be listening this today, Saturday. Not today we're recording, but today we are listening and posting on the internet. I advise you to do something Star Warsy.
Yeah.
Go play a video game of Star Wars.
Go kill some younglings.
Go kill some younglings if you're annoyed about the fact they put the holocrons playing Jawa's music too loud, Cantina tunes, and
Yeah, listen to the Cantina band. If your
Listen-
neighbors don't like it, keep playing. They will.
playing it even louder. Go make some bets with a hut.
Yeah.
Go hunt a Wookiee or hunt the hunter's Wookiee.
Go do something. Go get some death sticks. Do whatever.
Yeah,
Go crazy.
go rave with lightsabers. Go watch the movies. Go read a comic. Go read a book.
Send us pictures. Send us on comments what you did. Send us some pictures. Something.
Of what you're doing on Star Wars Day. We'll be probably wearing a T-shirt to work, a T-shirt or a hoodie or whatever connected to Star Wars. Well, that doesn't change mostly of our normal days, but it just specifically for the
yeah.
day.
But yeah, send us your things. So we are on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Just
YouTube, Podbean.
just search for Coffee on the Dark Side. I think it's easy. I think it's the only page with that name, so
Yeah.
it's easier to find. Especially on Twitter. We are always on Twitter. Or trying to be on Twitter.
You're always on Twitter.
I don't know how to work with Twitter.
Me neither. That's your department.
I need Twitter for dummies.
There's the book up there somewhere.
I know.
Yeah, and get creative. Do Star Wars cookies. Do Star Wars ice cream. Do
Wookiee steaks.
Wookiee steaks.
Do something.
Try not to be so much Chewie. Go buy Star Wars merchandise. Go
Go do stuff.
do doodles of Star Wars. Do fan art of Star Wars. Write the Star Wars fan art story. A fan fiction. Go play a RPG. Go play a tabletop RPG. Go play the first RPG of Star Wars that was re-released for the anniversary. Do something. Use the Force, goddammit. Use the Force.
Or at least try to.
Or at least try to, but not poop. Well, if you're in the toilet, you can use that type of force. Your face.
I'm covering my face in disgust.
Use the force.
Just stop.
Too much force.
Just stop.
Too much force. Yeah,
So,
I think that's
done?
it.
It's
yeah,
done?
Yeah.
So we will be back next week. Next week on Friday.
Yeah.
Not on Saturday.
Yeah.
Next week is on Friday. Because only this week it's special. Don't think you're special. This one is special.
And no, we didn't have commercials today because it's a free day. We don't need money for
They only pay for Fridays.
Exactly. So on Saturday they think, everybody's not gonna listen. And
Yeah. So next week we'll
we'll be back.
It's the Polish. It's the Polish coming out of my mouth. It's the Polish coming out of my mouth. Next week we will be back. Thank you guys. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.